Alright, so this week was a really slow week. Let me back up. This week was a really slow week. So the total sales amount and the shipping included, and I'll explain why that's important afterwards, was $16.91.60. The total amount without the shipping was $1,183.48. There were 39 items that were sold. So for a grand total, for the average price paid for the item, not including the shipping, was $30.34. So why is it important that I bring up the cost of the shipping as well? Well, that's because I also make money on the shipping. So not only do I get a discount with eBay and buying my shipping labels through PayPal, which does add up to a substantial amount, especially if you do mine the way I do. So every time I put something down, if I say let's say it's gonna anywhere between 1 and 4 ounces is all the same, right? So I always put down 4 ounces because if you're shipping internationally and it's different, it might come up a little bit. You might end up owing more. So the way that I have things, if I put down, let's say if it's gonna weigh 4 ounces, I'll put it weigh 6 ounces, or I'll weigh it, say it's gonna weigh, like every time I sell sunglasses, I put them down at 6 ounces, but they end up coming out 8 ounces, so I make 60 cents per item off those. And not only that, but I also put down $1 handling fee. Now, you might not think that that's a lot, but if you sell like I do, and let's say you sell 2,000 items in a year, that's $2,000. And if you have the system that I set up, it is very easy to pocket that money without ever seeing it. And for a guy like me, that's very important, because if I know I have that extra money, I'm probably going to spend it on something dumb. So, back to this. So let's go through the items that sold this week. Alright, so the first item that sold this week was a vintage Louis Farad gold tone necklace. It sold for $50. I've had this item since, hold on one second. Actually, I haven't had this item that long. I've only had this item since November of 2019. I thought this one was a lot older. But still, that's, we're a year and a half in, holding on to this necklace. So $50, I'll take it. Next item that sold was a vintage 12 karat gold filled pail of water pendant. And this sold for $9.75. It's weird when you're selling gold items. Gold, real gold, most of the time is more expensive than buyers want to pay, right? But a lot of buyers don't know about gold filled. It's easier to sell something if you say it's gold plated, which is weird because gold plated has almost no gold in it, whereas gold filled has gold in it. Next up is a brass picture hanging hook, and this was rather cheap, but it came in one of those vases of jewelry I bought a long time ago. It came in one of those vases, and it's a little tiny brass colored hanging hook, and it sold for $4.50. Just get it, some things you just want to get out the door. Next up, put this in perspective, that's actually something useful. We have a Denali Alaska keychain, and I can't tell you how many keychains I sell. I sell quite a bit of keychains. I mean, I'm not buying them on purpose, but if I find them and they're, 25 cents, I'm putting them up. This one, Denali keychain, sold for $9.99. That's not including shipping. $9.99 somebody paid for a keychain. Not even new keychain. No, they sold for $9.99 for an old keychain. Next is a tie clip. Now I have tons of these. They don't sell very often. I don't know how many dudes are out there. I don't wear ties, so I don't really know. This one sold for $11. To make my point about the gold I was trying to make before, here we have a pair of 14 karat white gold earrings, hoop earrings. These sold for $45, and they weighed 0.09 grams, so 14 karat, somewhere around 29-30 bucks at the going rate. And this one sold for $45. Now I don't buy them for, around there. I buy them. These actually, I think I bought these ones for $3. But I do buy gold and silver, and when I buy gold and silver, I pay anywhere between 75 and 80% of the scrap value. Therefore, if I sell it for, if I sell for over, I generally try to get about 20% over, because then after fees and taxes, I'm right at about dead even. Now, it's not that big of a deal because I do scrap it, but it's nice to get that extra 5%. It does add up over the long term. Next up is one of these odd items. It's a soy sauce condiment dish, and it's a pair of them, and they sold for $20.99. The next item that sold was this is like a little Chinese paperweight, sold for $10.30. I buy paperweights whenever I find them for, dirt cheap, but since I've been buying them, the price I have seen has gone up at the thrift stores. This one, though, I think I paid $1.99. Sold for $10.30, not as much as I like. But the next one is a sterling silver ocean toe ring. And this is a perfect example of why people think sterling silver is like, when it says sterling, oh, it's magical. It's not. Especially when you're selling online. If you want to take it to where people can look at it in person, you'll probably get a little bit more. But online, sterling silver, you're competing with you're competing with the entire Chinese market that sells sterling for 15 cents with free shipping. How they're able to do this, I believe it has something to do with how the shipping is subsidized. But either way, it's not sterling, but people that are buying it are, I'm competing with them. So here we have a toe ring. This weighs absolutely nothing, so I'm not selling it for weight, but it only got $5.88. It is what it is. That's the market. Next up, we have this is a weird one. I do buy and sell tons of sunglasses and eyeglasses, but this is a brand that I've heard before. It's called Chili Beans. They're a Brazilian company, and this one sold for $15.40. Next up is another sterling silver ring, and this one sold for $7.90. Now, the reason I'm selling these pretty cheaply is that when I scrap my silver, I'm only getting 90% of the value, right? So if I sell gold at scrap, I'm getting 97%, and if I'm selling silver, I'm only getting 90%, so if I'm selling this and I'm still getting 100% of the scrap value, we're at 10%. That's good. Now, this next one is why it's important to always look for marks. Because if you can figure out who it is, or you can figure out if it's marked, and if it's Native American jewelry, it's gonna at least double or triple the amount that the piece is worth. This one here is a Native American sterling silver bead. It was signed AIL, and I'm not too sure who that is. I was able to figure out that it was Native American, especially by the beads. This whole style of necklace is done quite often. This one it sold for $84. This next one is a art glass paperweight. It's in the shape of a cat, and it's got a fish in it. You see them everywhere. And they sell, but they don't sell for good money. So this one I think I paid $1.99. Ended up selling for $10, $8, whatever. I'm not making really anything on this. Next up is a sterling silver ballerina necklace. This one sold for $15 somewhere. I know I got over scrap, but it is what it is. Next is an odd one. I'm sure I've had this for a long time. Yeah. This one I've had since July 22nd of 2017. This is a cloth. It's like a cloth. Some artisan made a brooch, a heart brooch out of cloth and a little other metal piece. This one sold for $12. So sometimes those surprise you, but if you put a price tag on it and you wait long enough, somebody's gonna buy it. This is a Ping golf club, a 7-iron, and I don't find them that much, but apparently someone does, because the market is absolutely flooded with these things. This one, I'm sure I could have gotten more had I waited longer. I didn't, and I took $10. Ooh, here we go. Now, watches are something that are near and dear to me. I love buying watches. This one is a trench watch by Hamilton. It's not actually a trench watch because trench watches were from World War I. This is World War II, but it helps with the keywords. Okay, this one was on a leather band. It's going to have to be replaced because it had some greening on the little prongs inside there. But it was working. It was a good, solid watch. This one sold for $240 plus shipping. All right. Next, we have a brooch by Danecraft. This is a little artisan brooch, a little artist paintbrush set, and this one sold for $10.49. Here we got a vintage Padre Pio relic medal. So, little religious medals. You know, I don't necessarily set out to buy them unless they're sterling, but I have acquired at least 100 of these things, and they sell every once in a while.